You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Happy New Year! Welcome to Love Talk Live. I'm Jaime Bronstein, and today I have with me Nathan Smith.
Hi.
Nathan Smith is a life coach and an incredible man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very kind of you to say.
It's the truth. So Nathan, we're going to hear from Nathan about his life journey, his love journey, what he's up to in the business world. He's an entrepreneur and just a pretty fantastic human being. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to our viewers.
Yes.
Wow.
We are also going to be talking about some New Year's resolution type of interesting ways of looking at them, right?
Yeah, I thought that could be pretty cool, you know, just to see sort of where we're at. It's 2020 and, you know, what are we looking forward to? What are we going to manifest this year? Prosperity, abundance, love, joy, happiness, all those lovely things.
All of it. And it's all waiting for all of us.
Indeed. It's out there.
It's the absolute truth. So, Nathan, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your journey to where you are today in terms of with your life and your love life, because he has a beautiful relationship story also.
I do, indeed.
We love talking about relationships.
We do. Wow. Well, my story, you know, it's really incredible that I'm sitting here today, you know, with the amount of, I mean, you could say turbulence, but also, you know, like just all the things that have to come together for me to be sat here talking with you. And so I actually came to the US for a woman.
You're a romantic.
I am indeed. Yeah, where do I begin? I mean, basically, I took a leap of faith. You know, my story starts, I would say, when I was coming out of college, and I found myself in a place where I'd come out of a relationship. I found myself basically at rock bottom. I think that's probably like as the way that I could describe it is that I'd come out of a relationship. I had kind of not really achieved some of the things I wanted to achieve, and so one of my friends came to me and he basically said that hey, you know what, you're worth more than what you're living right now. So basically I got myself he was actually a personal trainer, so this is all part of my story. He was a personal trainer. He got me to the gym. I started training. I started to feel better about myself. I started to put on some weight and feeling good, and I got myself a job, and I started my career in information technology. And I really realized that was like, I was doing really well, but I realized that was really superficial. It was all on the outside. And so what I realized was I was really looking for myself. So in that, I decided to take a journey, a vacation to the US. Like me and my friend. In fact, my friend, bless him, his father had a battle with cancer. A long battle as well, and we were in that stage of our lives where I'd basically had a career for 10 years, kind of doing the same thing, successful but still feeling unfulfilled. And he also was in a place in his life where he just lost his father, bless him, and so we decided we were going to journey to the US. We called it a a life-changing journey. It was like literally something that we could never forget. So we did east to west. We went to New York, Las Vegas, Santa Monica, and it was in Santa Monica where my journey here started.
How long ago was this?
This was that's a good question. It's 2013.
Okay.
So this was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, so I met a girl, and she told me she was a life coach, and I was like, what on earth is a life coach? I didn't have any idea what a life coach was. However, I followed in her footsteps, and started to learn a lot about myself and about some of the more interesting parts of life, shall we say. And I met many amazing people, joined USM, which is a school for advanced psychology of personal development.
Spiritual psychology.
Spiritual psychology. Yes, and I found myself in Los Angeles.
And we are so happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
So I feel like we skipped over a little bit. So you ended up marrying that girl, the one you met in Santa Monica.
Yes, so I got married. Okay. So
we like the detail.
We like the detail. And so I fell in love. I moved to Los Angeles. I got married. I joined USM. I did a lot of personal work on myself, and basically became a coach myself. That's kind of where things started to get a little interesting.
What do you mean by interesting?
So, I mean, this is where I suppose I might as well just say it. I feel nervous right now, and I think that's
this
because
is good.
It's letting it all go. This is like
yes.
the nervous part of sort of like how is the vulnerability of the share, and
telling the truth, speaking our truths, sometimes, all the time, takes courage.
I think this is a perfect the perfect line to follow right now, because that's basically what happened was in my project at school I was working on finding my authentic expression, and one of the things that I found was that I was unable to speak my truth. I was unable to speak my truth, especially in my relationship. This was where kind of the issues were, was that I always felt like I was being judged. And I think I was placing my value on whether I was in relationship or whether I wasn't in relationship, and whether I was good enough to be in that relationship. And so I found myself unable to speak my truth.
Until?
Until.
What was your revelation? What came to you? What was your inspiration? How did you get that empowerment to feel like this is the time to speak my truth?
You know, it was interesting because it was a very turbulent time. We'd had I'd been hiding a lot, and then of course I felt like I was living two different lives, treading on eggshells all the time, and being.
Wait, when you say hiding, just so our viewers understand, I think you mean like maybe you were hiding yourself, because I don't want them thinking that you went out in hiding. Do you mean that you were hiding parts of yourself? Or do you mean you really were like out hiding?
Oh no, I was hiding. I was
Parts
hiding
of yourself.
parts of myself.
Yes, because
this was the thing. I was hiding parts of myself, and I felt
because
like
a lot of our viewers are watching, and maybe they can relate to you. So
yeah,
he was hiding parts of himself, and to be in a relationship where you're hiding parts of yourself is just the opposite of authentic, right? And the opposite of a relationship that has long-lasting abilities, right?
that's right, exactly. And I found myself in a place where I couldn't speak my truth. And to be honest, it was really a terrible place to be, because it was like I was just wasn't happy. I just wasn't happy, and I was living a life, and I wasn't able to be myself. And I think that
So rich.
yeah.
Did you feel like you were spending a lot of time talking yourself into staying, or just trying to rationalize? Because I know you were married for about 5 years?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm always so curious about people that stay in relationships where they know they're not happy. Do you feel like that's what you were doing?
That's a great question, because I tried very hard to make it work, I must admit. And it was like, okay, so I don't take marriage lightly. It's a big deal. It's a big commitment, and so I really did try to do the healing that was necessary to get myself into a place where I could be myself again. Mm-hmm. And what I found was that the more and more I became myself, the more the marriage just wasn't the right thing.
Right.
And that was the most difficult thing, was that I was kind of finding myself at the same time realizing that I basically married the wrong person.
For you, yeah.
And then of course there's the guilt aspect. It's like, this, my wife, she's a wonderful person. It's changed my life forever, and I think that's, if we circle back to the start, that is exactly why I'm sitting here with you today.
So you can sit in gratefulness for the journey.
I'm very grateful.
Yes.
And it's like, to put me on this path of my own self-discovery and myself, and this journey, where I'm sitting here today with you. And I must say that, like, by completing this journey, I've really, it's almost like I know myself to a degree now, where it's like I understand who I am, what I want, where I'm going. And I found that the more that I found myself, the more that I attracted in the right energies, the right people, the right, and I stand here grateful, because right now I'm in a new relationship, just with the most wonderful woman that I've ever met, and it's kind of magical in a way that I had to do all of this work to get to this place where I can truly say that I can be me. I can love me for who I am.
That is so freeing, isn't it?
And express, yeah, exactly.
Well, let's go back a second to, I love that you can acknowledge that your ex is in some ways an angel. So a guide, somebody who came into your life, who changed your life and guided you to where you are today. Because a lot of people look at exes as, I wish that didn't even happen, that didn't need to happen, that was hell. They look at exes as very negative experiences. But what I like to offer people is that everything happens for us, not to us. Mm-hmm. And so if we can just look at everything that has happened and be in gratitude, thank you for that not fun experience, because I learned about myself and it's brought me to this next place, to the next place, to the next place. And so I love that you can sit here and be in your gratitude for everything, not just her, but everything that has come.
Yeah.
And has led you to where you are.
Yeah, exactly. And I really see it that way. It's like I believe that we all have contracts, and it's like, what do we bring to the table? and you know, and every step of the way, it's like there's always that that blessing that's there. And I would say it was a huge blessing. Like I say, I'm sat here today. I'm able to talk to you. I'm living a completely different life to what I was living before, with a completely different worldview. And again, without meeting my ex, it could never have happened.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds cliche, but we need to go through the muck to get to the gold. You know, we need to experience these things, and you know, the not fun parts of life. You have to do the work to get to your authentic self. You have to do that work to be able to exist in this life, to have peace in your heart.
Yes.
And anybody who says that they live like that maybe they popped out and they've had like a perfect life, bless their souls. You know, they're probably happy people, but are they really living truly, you know, from their authentic self? Are they truly living who they truly are? Are they living their best life possible? Or are they just like gliding along and not really conscious of what's going on or who they are?
Yeah, definitely. It's the most liberating experience to really be able to speak one's truth, to step out of the judgment that's there. It's the judgment that can hold us back, can hold us in story. I mean, I talk from my experience. That's the only reason I'm sharing this right now for you guys, is that it's a very vulnerable place. And so to be able to really look back and see all the opportunities and the in those challenges, and to, of course, be grateful for what we have.
Yes.
To
always.
really be like, this is what we have. And a lot of times people like to see what they don't have. What am I lacking versus what do I have? And so yes, that journey, that marriage for me was very much a huge opportunity for awakening and finding myself, and I have to again give thanks to my ex. I mean, I'm pretty sure that she had her own opportunities in that as well, and those experiences, I think, even through some of the harder, sadder parts, really enforce the healing.
Absolutely. So I have a question.
Sure.
I'm curious, as I was thinking about what do I want to ask Nathan Smith today, I feel like you're a really good person to ask this question. It has to do with falling in love.
Okay.
And through my journey of interviewing couples, I've learned that not everybody even calls it falling in love. So, first of all, do you call it falling? Do you call it when you are in love? Do you call it in love? In terms of like what language we're going to use, is that the language you use or no?
Question. Yeah.
Because then I have a question about that.
Okay. So I would definitely say yes. I would say that I am in love, definitely.
So my question is, thinking back, do you feel like you were in love before? And if you were, how is this different? And do you feel like you can be in love multiple times throughout your life?
That's a fantastic question, because
I love asking it.
That's a fantastic question, because I truly believe that love isn't really something that you. I would say I'm in love, but love is much bigger than just being in love. I think that love is kind of something that's perpetual, and I think that it's interesting, because I don't think I've ever, I wouldn't say I don't love my ex. I wouldn't say I don't love some of the people that I've been in love with. does that make sense? Like, does that make sense?
So, well, what I'm gathering from you is that you're saying that you've been in love multiple times.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does in love mean to you? I guess that's my question.
Okay. What is
How do
in
you
love?
know you're
Okay,
in love?
How do I know I'm in love? Some of it's physiological, I think. It's like that feeling of butterflies, of feeling like really excited and happy and joyful, and there's that fun. It's almost like a feeling that kind of, for me anyway, it lightens me up. I feel it really feel
Lighter. Well, our vibrations get raised when we're in love, right?
exactly.
Does that make sense?
And so,
And our energy shifts. It's lighter. The energy is not as heavy.
true, very true. Yeah. So, I mean, being in love is a wonderful thing. I truly.
Love is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, all you
Do you know
need
that
is
song?
love. Is so. I think that really, it's. I mean, I would say there's definitely different levels of being in love. And one of the things that I really endeavour to do is to really continue to grow and nurture. Loving. I think loving is a better word. It's not really looking for love. It's being in our loving.
And being the love.
And being the love, and owning the love that we are, and sharing that love that we have to share. And of course, being able to share that love with a significant other, and have that reciprocal is truly amazing. I think that's part of what life is about. And so being able to really nurture that loving, grow that loving, and truly understand what it is about the other person that makes them tick, and and that, I think that really is a big part of being in love. And being able to share moments, and it's like I've literally just got back off a vacation, and it's like so many things happened, and it's like I can look at all those different things where the moments in that experience where it's like, wow, this was a really deep connecting moment, or this was something that you just start to you get that click, and you really feel that
Connection?
A connection, but that connection where like you feel like you've got to the next level, and the next level, and the next level, knowing that there are no limits. There are no limits to love.
So do you think that in this relationship you felt the most that you have felt ever?
The most that I've felt ever, yes. Yes, I would say that.
She could be the one.
I think she is. In fact, I changed that. I know she is.
Okay. Can she come back here, and can we have an engagement on my show?
An engagement? Tell me more about that, Jamie. What do you mean?
Oh, like can she come here one night, and can we get engaged on Love Talk Live?
Can we get engaged?
I will be.
Oh my God.
I'll be the rabbi.
The rabbi.
For the engagement.
What do you think, Monica? She's watching.
And then you can come back, and I can be the rabbi for the actual ceremony for the wedding.
Sounds beautiful. Do it live on your show.
And I will sing also. The singing therapist rabbi. I'm not actually a rabbi, but I will become one for this purpose. And you're not even Jewish, so.
There you go. I should become Jewish first. There we go.
You can convert. I'll be the rabbi for the wedding. Okay. Well, this is so exciting. So I had another question.
Sure.
Okay. So in general, in relationships, what do you think are the main differences between men and women? Besides for the obvious ones, from what you've seen. So you're in Mexico. You were just in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, just throughout the day, throughout conversation, how do you think men and women are different? And what have you learned about women?
That's a great question. What have I learned about? You know, it's hard to say, because I think that we all have, you know, masculine and feminine energy, and it all depends on in what situation we're in, where we're like, right, we need to bring this, whether it's like the do or the receive. What have I learned about? That's a great question. Put me on the spot.
Actually, this is interesting because I think it was you. I was having a conversation with someone in the past few months about how it was ironic because the man was actually saying that he sometimes has more of a traditional role, like the roles were switched. Was that you?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It might have
So,
been
interesting guy to ask this question to. So, and actually, then it's even more perfect. So, what you're saying is that actually it's interesting because from your perspective, sometimes you have taken more of the female role?
I would say that I'm very nurturing, definitely. I definitely, I like to. I mean, what is traditional? You know, what is the traditional roles? I would say that I certainly, when I need to be in my masculine, I'm in my masculine, and I really sort of have. I'd say I'm very protective.
That is masculine, yes.
Very protective.
Yes. Because I feel protective over my son, like I'm a mama bear, but I don't necessarily in my relationship with my husband feel like I need to protect him. So that's such a good point. That is such a man thing. And I love that you have that.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's like there's a different levels of protecting. It's like I know in the past I've worked with being able to sort of be in a relationship where actually, you know, the trust is there, and then it's like, okay, so we're like we're able to really be who we want to be. Two people living their own lives that choose to be together, that choose to share their lives together. I think somebody told me before that jealousy is like jealousy is fear of somebody doing something that if they did, they wouldn't be worth being with anyway.
I haven't heard of.
You never heard of that one?
No. Say it again. Jealousy is the fear. Say it again.
Jealousy is the fear of somebody doing something that if they were to do, wouldn't be worth.
So, and then you're trying to control, and you're not trusting.
Precisely.
Because you're feeling like if they would do that, then you'd say goodbye. So you're trying to prevent something from happening.
Exactly. So the point being is that, you know, if
you can use trusting with that also. I'm thinking if you're worried that your partner is going to cheat, and it's inevitable, then you're like, ooh.
Well, if we take that attitude and that, if we bring that energy, then essentially what we're doing is pushing.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
It always is.
A self-fulfilling prophecy. And I bring this forward because, of course, I talk about being in my masculine and being protective. You know, it's not like mine.
Right.
It's not like mine. It's more like, wow, like the being able to be supportive, to be a rock, to be you know, sometimes a shoulder to cry on. I mean, I would say that's definitely one thing that I've seen in difference between men and women is that there's a lot more tears from a
we have an in-studio guest. He's off camera. He's a friend, and he's watching the show, and he's going, yep, Yep.
Yeah.
So we have two men here, and I'm, as the woman, saying, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're saying that women tend to cry.
There tends to be
more.
a lot more ability to allow that energy to come.
Yes.
And being able to embrace that and allow that and to be there
Yes, that's powerful.
in that situation is something that I would say is definitely... Go ahead.
So you like to allow the woman to just cry instead of trying to have her, like, try to fix it or try to, have her stop?
I spent many years trying to fix it. I think that's another...
Did it make you uncomfortable when she would cry in the past?
In the past, yes, definitely.
Like, oh God, I don't know what to do.
What am I going to do? And of course, I think that's a big difference with guys as well. Is that as guys have this kind of primal need to try and fix things. Like, oh, we've got to fix it. There's a problem here. Okay, the logical brain kicks in. What is it we need to do to fix this situation? So, oh, this dress doesn't fit. We're going to a wedding next week and the dress doesn't fit. It's like, oh, okay, well, not a problem then. Yeah, we'll just go to the store, we'll change the dress, or we'll take it to the tailor's and we'll get it tailored, and fine, the dress will fit.
But she's crying because she feels like she's fat.
Exactly.
And
She's
she
like,
just
no,
wants you to be like...
You don't get it. The
You don't have...
dress doesn't fit. It's got nothing to do with the dress fitting. It's how
She's just sad. Yeah.
I am feeling right now.
Yeah.
It's being heard. And so I think that being able to be with somebody through...
To listen beyond what they're actually saying.
Exactly.
Right?
To listen beyond. And again, this is kind of like a part of this journey I'm talking about in my self-discovery, is really being able to listen, which I think is a skill that, the huge skill that a lot of people don't necessarily nurture themselves.
Yes. Well, I want
to be stronger than that and say a lot of people don't have. They just don't have it. But it's something that...
it's a beautiful attribute to a relationship. And yeah, I feel like most people don't really get the importance of listening. And really listening. And I always say to my clients and friends, family, you don't even have to understand the person who's venting and crying and getting it out, but just listen and just validate. Like, maybe I don't understand what you're saying because maybe I can't understand. I'm not going through it, so I can't necessarily understand it, but that doesn't matter. I'm listening to you and I'm loving you and I'm validating everything you're saying. I hear you and I see you.
Exactly.
That's the ticket.
And I think that's what everybody...
We all just want that.
That's right. Everybody
Human
wants
beings.
to be heard.
Yes.
And from that place we can really understand. And from that place of understanding we can be in compassion. And from a place of compassion we can really serve.
And connect.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We could just keep going with this conversation, but I know we're running out of time, and I know that we wanted to talk a little bit more about New Year's resolutions and then get into what Nathan is doing, this new entrepreneurial project. So I know you wanted to say some more things about New Year's resolutions. It seemed very inspiring.
New Year's resolutions I find really interesting because it's this time of year where everybody is like, right, it's a new year, new goals, new me, new home, new whatever it might be. We all kind of have that push for the New Year's to do something different or change something different for the better, of course. And it's one of those things where, I'm a personal trainer. That's one of the things that I do, and I love to train. And so, of course, every year in January you go to the gym and you start your training, and it's like, oh, there's about 101 new faces in the gym, and everybody's determined and they're there doing their thing, and it's like every single week that goes by, it's almost like, oh, I didn't see that face.
Oh, Fred's not in today.
Exactly. Oh,
where's Betty?
Exactly. And of course, it's like the the crowds tend to have disappeared by around February 1st.
There's no one in the gym anymore.
That's it, and it's back to the norm. And so I think it's interesting to really, one of the things that I do with my clients is look at like where they...
I have a question. Do you do life coaching and training? Kind of, do you bring it all together sometimes? Like, do you have a client who's life coaching client and then they want to train also?
I do. It's actually quite interesting. I do quite a big medley of things. I mean, I started off in information technology. I'm currently working for a software company, and I work in their product development department and pre-sales. And that actually is a product of all of this work that I've done, because I do coach executives. It's one of the things that I do. And I've kind of, if you like, married that with the fitness side of coaching. I really truly believe that a fit, healthy body, to start with, that changes our physiology and our brain chemistry.
Yes.
And from that place where we want to feel more empowered, and where we want to really go for our goals in our personal and professional lives, it's a real great platform.
The whole package, inside and out.
Exactly, and of course, I also love technology. So I've in a way, I've gone into a role now where I can use those skills within the technology side of things, and so it's really serving. And I do have private clients still, and so it's really great to be able to work with people and really look at what their goals are. It's like, what do they want to achieve, but look at it more from a sense of, right, how can they commit? And I say this for all of us, like myself included. So how can we commit and be accountable to ourselves to the things that we say that we want? And it's interesting from a fitness point of view, because I know for a lot of people that go to the gym, the hardest part isn't actually doing the workout. It's actually getting to the gym.
Putting on the gym shoes. It's so hard. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know where my socks are. Maybe I just won't go.
Exactly.
Tying the shoes.
And it's like, of course, if we want change in our lives, it takes perseverance, commitment.
You have to get there.
I always say that as humans are motivated by two different things. One is the pursuit of pleasure, but the other is the avoidance of pain.
Yes.
And we would much prefer...
And just staying in the comfort.
And staying in the comfort. And of course, avoiding pain is a lot more powerful in terms of a motivating factor than pursuing pleasure. So you can imagine that, sometimes it's a lot less painful to sit in front of the TV and eat ice cream.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Versus, getting up and doing the workout. And of course, over time, sitting on the couch eating ice cream also has its own pain points. So there's that whole view of commitment and accountability. And commitment's always an interesting term, because people think, commitment. It's like, now I'm obligated to do something, and I'm committed, and now I've got to do it. But of course, we make commitments every day, and people just don't really realize that. It's like, you take a vacation, you book the time off work.
I'm going to have the Chinese chicken salad for lunch. I've just committed to that.
Yeah. Or you take the time off work, you book your flight ticket, and then, if your friend dials you up and says, do you want to go out? It's like, no, I'm going to be in Mexico. Or if your boss calls you and says, hey, can you do an extra day here? No, I'm not available.
We have commitments.
We have commitments. And so for the New Year's resolution side of things, I think that if we can break down what it is we want into actual bite-sized pieces, actual specific goals, and we commit to doing those
Yeah, maybe slow, a little bit at a time.
A
Maybe.
little bit at a time.
3-foot tosses.
3-foot tosses, as we like to say, yeah.
And really, New Year's resolutions, I think, should be kind of like, I don't think that people should diet necessarily. I think that it should be a lifestyle. So any type of New Year's resolution that you're going to make it your life. If you want to quit smoking. That's like for life. So if you want to eat healthier, it's a lifestyle. It's just you're going to incorporate it into your life. Now, which brings me to, there is a specific New Year's resolution that you probably could not do forever, which is it's an acute time period, the Glute Project.
Yes.
So what I was saying was, if you want to be healthier, that is a lifestyle change. It's not just a New Year's resolution for a few months. However, there is this program that you're offering that he does everything. He does glutes, he does life coaching, IT. So you've partnered with Holly Perkins.
Yes, so a little bit of background on the Glute Project, which I'm very proud of. Holly,
I'll be joining.
Yes, Holly Perkins, she's a huge fitness
Guru.
And we've partnered together. In fact, it was about 9-10 months ago now that we kind of got together and we were looking at ways we could serve as many people as possible, and that was really the goal.
As many tushies as possible.
Exactly. One of the things that's that we found was that, of course, the glutes. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, we want the butt." You know, this is, of course, it's like the program specifically for women as well. But of course, there's so many other health challenges that having weak glutes can give us. And of course, we sit. A lot of people sit all day. Weak glutes can give us lower back problems, neck problems, and there's all sorts of different things that having weak glutes can attribute to. So what we decided to do was work on a program that covers both. It's a full strength training program, and it launches today. The kickoff is today.
And how can people sign up?
So the Glute Project is available online. We have an online portal to sign up for the Glute Project. You can go to if you do a Google search for Holly Perkins Fitness School.
Do you want to spell her name so they know?
HOLLYPERKINS. Holly Perkins. You won't have a problem finding her. She's very
dynamic.
Yes, she's definitely.
She's been out there.
She's spent 25 years plus coaching people, fitness professionals, athletes.
So she knows what she's talking about.
She knows exactly what she's talking about. She's fantastic at what she does, and I really have to put it out there and acknowledge her for really putting a program together that is really from her heart and my heart to really serve as many people as possible, and that's why I bring forward the New Year's resolutions.
Could you show me an exercise?
Could I show you an exercise?
Like, tell me what to do, just as an example. We have 1 minute.
We have 1 minute to do.
Okay, what would I do?
Okay.
This is to get a good butt. What do I do?
To get a good
But
butt.
not just a good butt, because it can help my back. I have some back stuff.
Yes.
So what does it do?
Well, do you know
what
how
do
to
I
do a squat?
Squat.
A squat, yes.
Now what?
So if you was to do a squat, and it's very basic exercise, a squat. Is
Am I doing it right?
I mean, we're on camera, okay, so like, you would have a weight like this, and you would part your legs and you would squat down.
I'll squat like that.
Squat down.
Okay.
To about there.
Okay.
And then we push up again.
I don't even have weights in my hands, and that was hard. So how many reps do you do of that?
Well, for that sort of training, it very much depends on where somebody's at in their fitness journey and what their goals are. To start with, we would focus on more time under tension, which means not very not a lot of resistance, i.e. weight, but more
Reps.
More reps. So
Do you have to be in person to do this?
no, it's all online.
Okay, this is good to know. You don't have to be in California.
Yeah, it's all online. There's a full online portal that has all of the programming. There's 9 modules, including nutrition, cardio. There's 3 different strength workouts that progressively get more difficult as the time goes on. There's 3 different levels. It's 12 weeks. And a Facebook group in which Holly and myself are going to be actually coaching people.
So it keeps you accountable.
And it keeps you accountable.
So after you do that, because now I'm thinking, New Year's resolution, you're not going to be doing this forever this intensely. So after you do the 12 weeks, are there exercises that just once you have the butt you want, then...
Good question.
How to keep that butt?
Good question. There's 2 different phases. It's where some people don't want to grow a larger butt. They're happy with their butt. Other people do want to grow a larger butt. And so there's 2 different phases. One is for people that just really want to tone up. And there's another for people that really want to actually...
The shape.
Get the shape, yes.
Okay.
And so the programming goes through the 2 different phases. And if more than anything, it's a full body strength workout, and so it's really designed to keep our bones healthy, to make sure we keep our bone density, and that we keep our flexibility. All these things are huge for longevity.
Yes.
It's like we want to look after ourselves, feed ourselves the right nutrients to ensure that we can continue to live a happy, healthy life.
Inside out, mind, body, and soul. Healthy.
Indeed.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. So you told us how people can sign up for that, but what about if people want to reach out to you for any type of coaching from you?
Of course, yeah. If anybody would like to reach out to me, I have my own website. It's nathansmithcoaching.com. There's a form on there which you can fill out should you wish. I always say coaching's a very interesting thing because it's really depends on what someone's looking to do and whether there's a fit. So I always say let's have a conversation. And see what potential's there for us.
Love it.
Thank you.
And as always, you can contact me at therelationshipexpert.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today, Nathan
Jamie.
Smith.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year once again. Woo!
Happy New Year.
2020. Here we come.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.